But go with your questions about that.
Yeah,
I'll just introduce her in.
Hello?
Hello, is that Claire?
Yes, how are you?
Hi Claire, how's it going? Your audio's a bit shaky. I don't know if it's your headphones.
Do you need me to be connected to this? So I can just use it. If not, I haven't got any other headphones. So.
Yeah, I mean, maybe whichever way's easier for the connection, just because we're trying to get a clear voice.
Is this better?
Oh yeah, that's much better. How are you?
Yeah, cool. I'm good, you?
Yeah, not bad. I'm just here with Jason. I don't know if you know Jason. Do you guys know each other?
I know Claire. I know of Claire for sure.
I know of, yeah.
Yeah. How are you? How's things today?
Yeah, everything's good. I'm in isolation at the moment, but everything's good.
Oh, man.
It's not me that's positive, so I guess that's a plus.
Yeah, so for everyone listening, we were supposed to have, multiple guests, but because of Corona and all its fun, we had to limit it to one guest, so that's why we've got Claire calling in. Claire, we were just talking about, I guess, how would you sum it up?
It's about pronouns, isn't it?
Pronouns and gender and that sort of thing. Just before we start, what pronouns do you prefer? How do you identify?
Yeah, I'm just she and her. Yeah.
Okay, cool. But Jason, do you want to explain what we're talking about?
So you know what? Yes, I was speaking to Luke and he asked me, and it's crazy because I don't really have any titles. Like I wouldn't say that I get offended if someone was to call me a she or her. You know what I mean? I'm just like,
right. Yeah.
I'm quite easygoing when it comes to that, and I haven't. But then also I haven't. It's only been like a year or two where I've actually started to identify as a non-binary.
Yeah,
I guess.
for real.
Legit.
I hear that. Yeah. Me too. I did think about it as well, but for me, it's more of I guess I'm not saying that people that are non-binary are not happy. I don't want to say it like it to come across like that, but I guess I'm just happy being she and her. Does that make sense? Like I thought, should I feel that way? And I'm just like, no, I'm cool. Do you get what I mean? But that's not to say that non-binary people are not happy or confident in their body. If anything, Jason, to me, that says to you that you're super confident. You're like, listen, I am who I am, and however you see me is you see me in it, and legit. I'm here for that.
Yeah, that's what Jason was saying is like that. He doesn't feel that he would be offended by either. So it's like not that. He doesn't, what was I trying to say? Like what I said before was
like, I wouldn't come to the table as like I'm everything.
Yes.
Like, let's not go that far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to go that far and be like, bitch, I'm every, but I'm going to come to the table as definitely I'm a dude. You know what I mean? I'm a guy. Like, definitely. So I even like, just you telling me that your pronouns are she and he, like, it just resonated because I'm like, boom, like, I'm defo, that's another side of all of this that I also have to, there's a journey for me too of just accepting that, yes, I'm a dude too. Like a lot of this journey too was accepting the old me too, or just the me, you know what I mean?
That's interesting, yeah.
So it's, now that you said it, it's actually giving me confirmation because if someone was to ask me, I probably would identify as a he, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
But for me as well, like, I think being around, I don't know, I'm gay, so as we would call it in a gay culture, like studs, so very, very masculine females. You know, I am a masculine female, but I know as well that I can be a bit more feminine than very, very masculine females. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not like, I'm a girl, innit? You know what I mean? It's just them experiences that make me think of that. So, yeah.
So do you think that, like, kind of, I guess, asking yourselves the questions, this is to both of you, like, has made you not only appreciate the other gender, but like your own, like gender at birth kind of thing, like more even? You're like, you know what Jason's saying about like appreciating the masculinity in yourself more, having questioned it than if you hadn't questioned it. Does that make any sense?
I think so.
Yeah. So I think so. Jason, do you want to go first?
No, so go.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I didn't know if I was cutting you up, but I think for me, it plays into confidence again in that, because I think maybe like 10 years ago when I was about 16, I wouldn't be seen probably being like, yes, girl, or something like that. Like I would be completely on the masculine side. You get what I mean? Because I think at that time I was out by then, but I was still very much like, I don't like boys, so I'm not going to be anything that they might be attracted to or something like that, like in terms of being a girl. But now I'm more confident. Like I watch RuPaul's Drag Race and like I'm making references Henny. Okay, so I don't really care. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just about being more confident. So
right.
Yeah, like in terms of just thinking about that, thinking am I non-binary or I don't know. I guess I kind of repeated myself, but again, to them questions, that's just how I feel about it. I'm being confident in if I want to feel masculine at one point, or if I'm with a bunch of girls or gay men and we're talking about RuPaul's Drag Race, I'm not going to sit there and be uptight about it, you know,
right.
or something like that.
So I guess like you're saying that your gender identity was kind of at the beginning like tied into your sexuality in a way of like,
yes,
okay, so
for sure.
I'm into girls, but what does that mean about who I am? And now you're a bit more like, all right, I am who I am. I just know I'm into girls.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Yeah, because I kind of had that thing as well when I came out, and like people would be like to me, "Oh, don't be that stereotypical gay." Where it's like, you know, someone would say something, and they'll be like, "But I'm gay, so I can do this," or "I'm gay, so I can feel that way." Kind of like I feel like sometimes straight people are threatened by that, but I'm just a bit like, no, I'm just Claire, and I'm 16 and I'm gay. At that time, like, it is what it is, like, you know. So yeah, that's how I feel about it.
How do you feel about that one? Any thoughts?
You kind of just hit it all nails, though. Can't lie. You hit it all
it.
nails. Like that's how it's crazy to actually hear someone else speak about it. I'm actually in a trance right now.
Yeah.
You don't know what? Like it's great to hear someone else speak about it, because I'm like, because it is a lot of thinking in it. Like sometimes it is just thinking. I'm just like, even when I was searching up like non-binary and stuff, like it was all a lot, because it's a lot of research in it, and I was just like, I just want to be like, what is? It's a lot of like titles and stuff, and that was bugging me out because there was so many titles, sis. Like, do you know what I mean? I was like, what one am I? Am I gay? Like, maybe I'm just gay then. Like, what is this? Like, but it's
you know what's interesting though for me? Like, I hear a lot of that, but from people who are like straight and like just not in the LGBTQ community at all, and they're like, you know, they say things like that of like, oh, there's just so many titles, I don't know, like I can't get my head around it all. But it's interesting to hear it coming from you guys of like, we feel the same sometimes, you know.
Yeah, for sure, definitely, because I just don't want to offend someone, you know what I mean.
That's so interesting, because like to hear that from you guys of you feeling like you don't want to offend someone, do you know what I mean? Because it's often, I feel like people that want to be considerate of the community are very on edge about like, okay, I gotta make sure I don't, you know, offend anyone. I want to make sure I say, because we're very like painfully aware that we're not a part of that community, if that makes sense. So I guess it's like, it's interesting to hear for me, like from you guys, like internally in that community, you're like, like I'm gay. I don't fully like, you know, I've questioned my gender identity, but even I still feel like I don't want to offend people. So that's like, it's interesting for me to hear.
Yeah, I just think, I don't know about you, Jason, but for me, it's still kind of new, a little bit.
That's
in terms of, and you think about it as well, like, I feel like I've only known about non-binary for about 2 years, and for a year of that, we've been in lockdown. So we ain't really been around people. Do you get me? So it's kind of like you're like, when you come into real life with them people and you're meeting them people for the first time, it's still new about how, I don't know, you address them. And you don't want to offend. You get what I mean?
Yeah. So is there something in particular, say, Claire, with you, like, is there something in particular that, like, when you kind of looked at the non-binary route, or like using they, them pronouns or something, is there something that didn't feel right about that for you personally? And what was that?
I'm just super comfortable just being me. And I think when I read that, I knew that. And then I thought about, okay, let's say now I want to be non-binary, and then like speaking to my family about it and how I want them to address me or whatever. And I just thought, I don't know, it just didn't feel right. I guess I just didn't feel like, no, I don't need to go through that. I'm kind of cool who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you feel similar?
Like with
like you kind of like when you're like, that's just not me. Like with like say using like they them pronouns.
That just it didn't
sit right.
It didn't sit right. I can't like it. Just like they and them. Like the fuck, you know what I mean? Like
it just wasn't.
How about I turn into they and them? Like it just didn't feel right to me. I was but at the same time, that's just me, just maybe not accepting it. Do you know what I mean? Like because literally this conversation, like I defo have come to, there's been clarity, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, because it's definitely making me realize that that I should embrace that I'm a he, you know what I mean? Literally, this conversation has made me realize that, because I do that, but I guess when people ask me, I shy away from it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
From like, say, like if somebody asks you, you shy away from saying, yeah, call me he.
Yeah, because really I should just be like, yeah, call me he, but I'm not going to be offended if it is a she, or, you know what I mean? Right. Like, that's where I think I'm going to be able to tackle the question just a bit better.
Oh, that's nice.
In life. Yeah, no, legit.
That's
so
really
interesting.
Nice. So how do you guys feel, because obviously you're both in the dance industry, how do you guys feel about kind of the, I guess, representation of all these things? Do you feel like people are accepting of, you know, different pronouns? Do you feel in general, like compared to, you know, seeing, let's talk about like the LGBTQ community. Like, do you feel that that's stronger inside the dance scene or outside?
I don't know. I think it's 50-50 for me.
Really? How do you mean?
In the dance scene, I think it's strong, but as a masculine female more than feminine, like obviously I do a masculine dance, like crump is heavily masculine, like heavily man ruled, if you want to say, and for me I feel like in dance it's more about stereotypes.
Okay.
So it's like if you're a girl and you crump, you're automatically expected to be gay.
Interesting.
You get what I mean? So that's like, I've had like in crump we have little homies, which is it's like a crew, but it's a bit different. It's a fam. I'm not gonna go into it, that's long. But I've had people ask me, being like, so have you got to be gay to be in your fam? And I'm like, whoa, like I've got an 11-year-old in my fam.
Yeah.
I teach an 11-year-old. Don't be putting her in that box. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I feel like it's strong. It's like as soon as you see maybe like Jason or another guy that is feminine, and like everyone's like, yes, whatever. I feel like sometimes, and this is only speaking from my point of view, so please don't take this as I'm judging you, Jason, or whatever. But it's easier for you to get more of a wide positive reaction, because I feel as well, like, say for example, I don't know, you got a special guest in Magic Mike and you came out and you were voguing or something like that, them middle-aged women that go to see Magic Mike as well would be like, yes, I love him, like I want to see more of that.
Okay,
you know,
I feel
like there's a wider audience inside dance and outside of dance for feminine males than masculine females.
Oh,
that's actually facts. That's facts for sure.
Yeah. Now that you're saying
I've never thought of it like that. I've maybe thought of it a few times.
But then when I'm outside of dance, sometimes I get a 50-50 negative and also a positive reaction. So it's the same for me. Do you get what I mean?
Really interesting. I had never thought about that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because especially, you know, I guess this also speaks to some of the dances that have become popular. Because I guess, like you were saying, with something like Vogue or whatever, it's very commercialized now, and there's a lot of TV shows and stuff. So, and you know, like people may be more familiar with that sort of thing and had a chance to think about it or whatever. Whereas maybe they're like maybe more closed-minded when it comes to like masculine females, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess
I don't know. That's just my experience.
No, that's a really interesting point of view, and I think it's also interesting that like there's an expectation that you have to be gay to be like a woman crumper, and you're like, look, I am gay, but I just don't want you to expect it.
Yeah.
It's like,
and
just don't assume I am.
Straight girl crumpers, it's ridiculous. Like,
yeah, I mean,
there's so many.
Yeah.
So
there's quite a few hot girl crumpers actually. Have to say. I've been at a couple of crump events, so I don't mind it so much. Not saying any names, but there's some fine ladies out there.
God damn.
No, but that's really cool. Like, Jason, have you done any Vogue or anything like that?
So I've trained a little bit of it here and there. Like, I've got really good friends that do participate.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely something I really want to get into.
Yeah, because I mean, I had we did an episode of the pod on ballroom culture, and it was with 3 Voguers, and they were teaching me actually a lot about the kind of how the dance is intertwined with the culture of like the LGBTQ community and stuff. So I just wonder if it's like something that, did you feel like as a dancer when you kind of wanted to come out and stuff like that, did you see that ballroom community as like a safe space for you that you would want to be drawn towards, or do you have that safe space in the commercial world or something like that?
Yeah, definitely. Like I've been to a few balls, really inspired. I've always been quite like a introvert kind of person, it's a tug and pull for me in that sense, because it's so exposing, but then I'm so at the time was an introvert, like do you know what I mean? So it was a lot to take in as well, but also fueled me though within what I did personally and what I did with my art and what I did by myself, you know what I mean? So definitely something I want to immerse myself in for sure. For sure, because I just feel like it's the safest place to be. It is. Definitely. It definitely is. And whenever I do come across Voguers or anything, it's always just good love, good energy, and
same actually.
Definitely where I want to be for sure. So
You'd be stuck at that as well.
Love this.
Truth. How do you feel, like, what was your draw to Krump, Kloè? Like, was it anything to do with this, or was it just completely separately? It's not like, was it to do with the culture, or was it to do with just like, I love this dance style?
Well, I didn't know about Krump until my sister showed me. I used to dance in my sister's dance school when I was young. And I'd done this freestyle. I must have been about 13 at the time. And my sister was like, "You look like you're crumping." And I was like, "What the hell is that?" And then I just went and YouTubed it. And then I taught myself for like 3 years after that. And I just, it just felt right. Because I love hip hop, and I've always loved popping as well as my two other, I wouldn't say main styles, but my favorite styles. And then when I'd done Krump, I was like, this is why I got into dance now. Like my safe place, I guess.
What was it about
culture,
the style?
About it.
What was it about the style that made you feel like, this is what I love, you know?
I think, again, being around more masculine energy.
Okay, so it was to do with the energy of that.
Yeah, the culture, and just being around, like, I don't know, like, this is going to sound so cliche, but I do feel sometimes I can't articulate myself properly. So when you are in that space, and it is very much like, it's so free, Krump, like it's ridiculously free, and everyone has something different to say. And when you're in that culture and you're able to read what someone is saying, or even if like they're saying something different, but you get something from that, or you get something different from what they're actually saying, like there's still something going on that you can latch onto, if you get what I'm saying. And I just love that. It's for me, that's why it's my favorite. You can't find that anywhere else. And again, I don't mean to diss other styles, but that's my personal opinion.
It's like you can't find anything like that in any of these other rubbish styles.
So I listen to this and be like, right, I'm calling Kloè out, you know. I'm calling Kloè out. Let's now.
That's funny. No, but that's really cool to know. Especially like, you know, there's some styles that you gravitate to. I mean, I guess every style, I would say, because I guess artistry is so linked to who we are. Our output of that is gonna be linked to who we are as well, if that makes sense. So like what styles you gravitate towards, where you want to perform, what context your work sits in, all at the end of the day boils down to like you, where and how you want to express yourself, I guess. Yeah,
definitely.
That's it. Super interesting. Kloè, I'm going to let you go.
Cool.
I'd love to have you here for the whole time, but unfortunately.
again, we'll do it some other time.
Unfortunately, Corona. But yeah, we'll definitely, we'll definitely keep in touch. We'll definitely have you in the studio. Anything happening for you at the moment that we need to shout out or anything, or are you just kind of waiting for Corona to pass?
Yeah, I'm just laying low, just focusing on more self-improvement, like internally, and obviously who knows what 21 is going to bring. So just positive vibes for everyone right now.
Yeah, same to you. Everybody, like Kloè's socials are going to be on the screen somewhere. So go and check her out. Say what's up.
Thanks for the convo, sis.
Yeah, trust.
No, thank you guys. Much love. Much love.
Right. Catch you soon.
Stay
Kloè.
safe.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.